Hello and welcome to another episode of the Stories from the Balkans with the EU Mentorship Program, financed by the European Liberal Forum and organized and implemented by the Boris Divkovic Foundation from Sarajevo. Today I have two guests here from two countries. Luka is from Croatia and we have Gor from Armenia, both participants with the activities that Boris Divkovic has been implementing. So welcome to our podcast today. We are in Brussels and today we'll be talking about financial independence of the youth and entrepreneurship and youth as well. So it will be great if we share some stories from our two countries. So let's start from the beginning. Why financial or finance independence is important among the youth? Firstly, let's go from that question.
So, as I made a paper earlier on that topic, I can mention that all the societies that have a really low financial intelligence regarding the youth are usually more able to be corrupted societies. And additionally, if you have a low financial literacy among the youth, then what happens is that they make worse financial decisions in their life, which makes overall society worse off. And this is the difference between very good and very bad economies, because it's all about financial education. So if we start with young people, financially educating them how to take risks, how to develop businesses, how to manage and understand economy, then we can grow better society.
And how would you describe financial education in Croatia at the moment?
In Croatia,
among the youth, particularly in high schools and other educational institutions.
Croatia scored, if I remember right, 7.5 out of 12 points in the financial literacy. So this means that young people in Croatia are really financially uneducated. And they score almost worst in European unions in all tests regarding financial education. And I think that's a really high problem.
Gor, is the situation maybe better in Armenia, or you share the same problems like Croatia?
Okay, let's start from there. That I do not want to separate financial education from in general education, because it's also including education. So we're trying to fight to educate people not only from the financial in general, also in the politics, in the relations, international, and etc. So regarding the financial education, I want to mention that we do not do in Armenia something special to educate people. If there are students that want to use that direction as education, they are getting educated in this sphere. But in general, we have a problem to educate as a society how to use their money the right way. So I'm a liberal. I'm fighting for the capitalist values. So that's why free market for me is the best way of the relationship regarding the countries, and also the best way to rise your country's values and rise your country's effectiveness.
Well, that's a great starting point for my next question, which is actually related to entrepreneurship and youth, particularly youth within entrepreneurship. So what is the state of entrepreneurship in Armenia at the moment?
I would say that Armenia is doing a lot of projects regarding the regulating taxes. It's very easy now to organize, establish a business in Armenia. The last doing business cases is going to be published in 2020. The Armenia score is 47 in 119 countries. So it's the result of 2020, but I think it's going to be much better now. Regarding that, also the war of the Ukraine and Russia also make the effort to Armenia to make easy way, because a lot of IT sphere went to Armenia to open the businesses in Armenia. So we are now make more easy way in Armenia to establish the business. Regarding the youth, I will share another story what I think is going to be more interesting for the audience. Also, it's going to be about social entrepreneurship. It's going to be 4 or 5 years. We are with friends established a non-profit organization in Armenia. It's called To The Community. We are trying to do organizing the social entrepreneurship projects in Armenia, especially in Armenian villages, and trying to encourage the rise the life level of the villagers living in Armenia. So few words what we mean saying a social entrepreneurship, like why we're separating a social entrepreneurship from entrepreneurship in general. Because during the social entrepreneurship, the impact of the social activities is like a more. And so like when doing a social entrepreneurship project, the effectiveness of the, for example, some kind of community is like more effective. I mean, so in this case, it's a village. So we're doing such kind of project in Armenia, and I think in this case, not the government helps the youth or I don't know people in general to doing a businesses. It's not governmental organization a lot of doing this activity to educate people, to show them how to, for example, use the skills for doing a business, or how to like find a funding for their business. So I think in this case, non-profits are more active than the government in general. Yeah.
Yeah, good to share that. Now, Luka, let's switch now to Croatia and to some experiences for Croatia. What do you think? Is there an entrepreneurship spirit? Does it exist among young Croats? Are they willing to have their own companies, businesses, social businesses, if you can put it that way, or society organizations? What do you think?
I'm really glad to hear that their government is actually trying to put some measures in place to foster entrepreneurship between young people. But unfortunately in Croatia, from what I discovered and from what the data is pointing out, that the government is not doing much. Between international investors, when they want to search for the business opportunities or the companies in Croatia to invest in, they usually have ABC rule, which means anything but Croatia. So just from this macroeconomic perspective, we can see that Croatia has problem with entrepreneurship. And even if our young people are financially not educated, we still have some successful companies. But the problem is that the government is putting too much pressure regarding the taxation system and really bad bureaucracy that makes entrepreneurship and opening businesses really hard for anyone, especially for the youth, because they are the least educated ones.
And if you had a chance to run the country and to support financial education of the youth and to support entrepreneurship, the development of entrepreneurship among the youth, what would you do? What kind of measures would you implement in Croatia? And of course, that's the question for Armenia as well.
What I would do is the things that maybe last 2 or 3 years that started firstly with as incentive from the local entrepreneurs, and now it developed a bit. Now the first time the local communities are financing this project, it's called incubators. So we have startups and incubators that usually take young people into the program, and then they try to see their ideas, a bit financially educating them, and then promoting these ideas and trying to give young people opportunity to open their own startups. And if I were ruling the country, or if I was the finance minister, I will definitely invest more in these programs, because we need more young entrepreneurs, we need higher financial education, and we need more startups. And that's what I think will make Croatian economy better.
Got any tips for the Armenian government?
Yes, actually I want to mention that the government regarding that case working very well, because nowadays we have a lot of sphere that there are free tax regime. So it's like a shoemaking, hair making, some kind of little businesses, little activities that you can do. It doesn't matter if you're youth or not. They are like the tax-free regime. So I mean the government in this case working very well. We're also making a good direction to develop in the IT sphere in Armenia, because it's like a half time, it's half less the taxes in the IT sphere. So like we're also using the incubators to increase the IT sphere. So I think we're working in this field very well.
Thank you. It was great hearing your stories and your experiences. We had both sides, Western Balkans and also the Caucasus, the Eastern Partnership country here with us. So it's great. It was great to have you here. Thank you once again. This was another podcast. See you.
Bye.